bullets?
I did. Nice. That was a good game.
I think we're good to go, guys.
Okay. I'd like to call this public safety meeting to order, public safety committee meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, February 14th, and it's just a few minutes after 4. First on the agenda, we have public comment. I don't know if here, so I'm not gonna have any public comment today. Next, approve the minutes, November 11th, 2022 meeting. Get a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Approve the minutes. Next, we have use of funds discussion for our next budget year.
For this budget year.
For this budget year, yeah, that's right. That was
Typo.
this budget year. 2023, the last meeting, we, discussed a few things for, the money that's in our budget. I know we talked about fentanyl awareness for adults, and maybe something for, I think Alan and Roberts had brought up something about fire needs, something, we haven't given them money, and, I think we've been focusing on the police department, the cameras for our city for 2 years, we've given them today. And I know you had something that you had reached out to the sheriffs.
Oh, yeah, so regarding the, awareness on the, fentanyl or drug awareness,
Yeah,
I reached out to the sheriff's department, because I know you had reached out, I believe it was, Smith Camp.
yes,
They had
yes.
also, so I reached out to the sheriff's department, I, kind of emailed with the Lori Murr. They have like a PowerPoint that they put together, as far as like drug awareness type of thing. And I also did see that, I believe Salma used the same program that you, were talking about, and they put it on for the community. I believe it was at the high school.
Right. I have some information on it.
Okay, so yeah, so I have her phone number and her email if you're interested. She said she's more than willing to, once we get more organized about if that's what something we wanna do, date and time, then they can play with that.
Yeah, so I did reach out again to, McCann's office, and, they do, not just for schools, for parents, And, so if we, but they don't charge a fee. They have funding for that. They have state funding for all that, fentanyl awareness and education and awareness. So if that's something we wanna do for, the parents in our community, then we just need to find a venue. And, that might be a fee for us.
Right.
But, if you look for a venue, I can reach back out to them and then, we'll set up a day to do it.
I know we kinda talked about, the little theater before.
Right.
I think that's a pretty good option,
Yeah, I agree.
you know.
I can reach out, to the high school and, Mr. Phelan, he's actually part of this committee, I think he's been to one meeting, maybe 2.
They send, so the high school they send sometimes different people, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's not.
Oh, I know, okay.
And then maybe they can work with us, or even if there is a small fee, that can come out of our budget.
Right, exactly.
Because I think that is a really good,
I agree,
thing to give
that's
back to the
something.
community.
That's why I reached out to them in the first place, was for, so that they could do that presentation, the education and awareness onto the high school.
Yeah.
But, I sent the high school information, and the email address for, I believe her name was Tracy, I forget her last name, the campus office, and I guess it was, I never got back to her. So, yeah, maybe they could fit it in their assembly schedule, that's all, I have not talked to, Mr. Phelan since I just found out that, from Tracy that they never reached out. They never reached out to them, so I said, okay, well, I'm gonna leave it alone, you know. High school has their reasons. Welcome, Alan.
Welcome, apologies to everyone.
Yeah, we're just talking about.
Was it wrong to speed to a public safety commission?
So I guess our next step on this would be, definitely reaching out to the high school and seeing if we can secure a date.
Yes.
And if there's some sort of fee,
Right.
looking at later.
I can do that. I know Mr. Fenton.
Okay.
Right, we used to coach football together and stuff.
Yeah,
My daughters played volleyball together this past season, so
okay.
I'll reach out to, Mr. Fenton.
You know, this is a fee.
Yeah, I don't imagine there is, but
Are we going to focus this toward junior high kids or high school kids or everybody, or is there a?
All of the above.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like talked about, maybe getting in touch with each one of the schools, and then the schools could send out like the emails to the parents, letting them know what our date time is.
Yeah, I'm sure the district office will be. As I was talking to somebody who retired from the DEA, and he said that what they have found is by the time they do what you call scared straight or any type of class on drugs to high schoolers, they're not paying attention because they think it's not gonna happen to them. They're in essence bulletproof, and they're seeing it down into the junior high level as well. They just don't get the same connection like they used to. Kids have changed, society's changed a little bit. I think the parents, that's one of the biggest, things in a, conversation with Jeff Cardinal from the, Fresno Police Department. One of the reason why they try to reach out to the parents is, he was sharing stories of parents going to bed with their kids at home, and they wake up in the morning, kids are dead because they've gone onto social networks or social media, and they're ordering drugs.
He told me,
To be delivered to the house.
Cardinelli, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean Cardinelli, yeah.
And so, you know, I think that that's a big part of the awareness. I think at this point is the parents to pay attention.
That's what the plan is. We're just, I had spoken to, actually Dean a couple days ago.
Like, Dean, I don't like
Yeah.
Jeff, but, yeah.
Okay, I do, and he did tell me, yes, we do offer it for parents, not just students, so. We're trying to get over the high schools, let's get those either.
Right. And I think that's just a good thing. You know, it's pretty bad when the police department says everybody should have Narcan in their house.
Yeah. It is, I mean, it's sad to say, but that's the culture right now, you know.
And on top of that, I just heard there may be a shortage of Narcan because there's another drug coming out called ISO.
I just heard about that, yeah.
A whole lot worse than fentanyl even. So,
Yeah.
you know, never rains but when it pours.
And the challenge with, the Narcan is, there's stories going out that, they'll use it, they save, somebody, the person goes to the hospital, they get released, they come home, and they overdose again because there's so much in their system.
It's already there, yeah.
So, you know, it's definitely becoming a public crisis.
Yeah.
And having grown up in the seventies, I mean, geez, you know, nothing scared us, but as a, oh, now you go, oh, geez.
I think, educating the parents would be a good thing, you know, like you said, because I'm sure there's a lot of things parents, you know, I know I'm real busy with things, and parents are busy with their lives, and they don't, you know, they don't think of, they don't hear all these things about things that kids can really do on their phones.
Yep, yeah.
So it's another step of awareness.
Okay.
Not too long ago, we did have a meeting like that,
Or they did,
like,
yeah.
testimonial kind of thing, like his own life experience.
Yes, it was, exactly what it was.
What to look for.
And I actually thought it was presentation, I thought this high school had reached out to Cardinelli and Smith Camp. And then daughter came home and said, Dad, we had a speaker today. And I go, oh, was it the district attorney in the police department? She goes, no, it was just a man giving it to, and I said, that's not the one that I thought they were gonna have at the high school.
I think, and
Yeah.
then he repeated, he repeated it, it was at the Little Theater in the evening, it was,
The parents come in the evening, yes.
Was there a pretty good turnout?
we were over 75 people.
Tragic in one sense, but on the other hand, there's 50 to 75 parents that know more than they
Right,
did before.
right.
And if it was only, you know, through the high school, I mean, maybe if we get it to all the schools, we
Right.
have a little bit better turnout too.
Yeah.
So if we can get, obviously, Neil, you know, someone at KP there as well.
Yeah.
Some local input.
Good, then I'll reach out, Mr. Phelan, and hopefully that can happen before our next meeting. We can get that coordinated, you know, and I'll have Abby email everybody, and that way we can all try and show up show up ourselves.
And we could have a special, we don't have
Oh,
to
we can-
wait
right,
3
that's-
months
that's
every
right.
time to have, it would, yeah, we could plan a
We
meeting.
canceled the last one because lack of a quorum.
Yeah, yes,
We were gonna try and have it last month, I believe.
yeah, so we could have it sooner than, you know, waiting every couple months.
So maybe if you find something out sooner than the next meeting, and let,
Yeah.
you know, that we all know, and then we can come back together or something.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, we'll continue our discussion on our, budget, funds for our budget, to where to allocate them to. I also spoke with Chief Dadian, we now have a grant writing company for the city and Townsend. They have just submitted a grant request for body cams and dash cams. Chief said he was pretty positive on, to get, you know, some funding for at least some body cams. He said he's hoping to have money left over for maybe a few dash cams. He didn't think it would, you know, but he's pretty sure there's gonna be some funding for body cams. So, you know, that, right now, that's something there, we can, you know, not worry about that. Maybe later on, we can give them some money for dash cams, so, before we use these funds.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too, because I've seen that the sheriff's department just got a big grant for, body cams and
Oh,
stuff.
did they?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I saw that on the news, you're right,
Yeah.
last night.
so I was hoping that maybe Kingsburg might give
Yeah, you know,
something.
and I think our grant writing company that city has hired, they're pretty good, I think, you know, so.
I know that Abigail brought up before, about the signs around town at one point. I know that our town's kind of expanded a little bit. I don't know where those signs are placed and all, but maybe that too and seeing.
Fine, like,
They were,
There, you'll see them like when you come,
yeah, similar to Neighborhood Watch.
yes, when you come into town,
Oh, yeah.
they're on all the major,
yeah,
I can't remember exactly what it says, but it says like, this is being patrolled by Kingsburg PD, and, yeah, kind of like a community neighborhood watch type sign.
Yeah, if you
Yeah, I've
see any
seen 'em.
suspicious
Yeah.
activity.
These are blue, they're white, blue, and yellow.
Yes,
Yeah, I've
or
seen
white and blue, yeah,
blue, I think they have a little bit, but maybe
Yeah.
got some blue on there.
yeah.
So I know we have the new community out there,
Some,
Summerlin. I don't know if, you know, they have any signs out there. It's just an option, you know?
Yeah, that's
I
good.
don't-
And honestly, there might be extra ones at Public Works that have been just sitting there,
Okay,
yeah.
so I could check on that.
oh, that'd be great.
I believe at, Kings Estates North, there's nothing out
I'm
there.
sure they don't have anything either, yeah.
Those developments are so new.
So brand new, yeah. It wouldn't hurt to just, I mean, they're part of the community, so, yeah.
You guys could also think, like, if you have, I'm just thinking as a mom right now, event for fentanyl awareness, like, you guys could use maybe some of your funds if you wanted to have snacks there, or make it know, because I did want to go to that one, and I can't remember why I didn't go, but parents are busy, there's sports going on right now and stuff like that. If there's something, a bounce house for the little kids, you know, something that probably wouldn't cost a lot, but would help bring families out to attend the,
Yeah.
It's not bad, I mean, I know traditionally we've used the $10,000 every year, it's gone for cameras and things like that.
Yeah, right, last couple of years.
But I think that something like this is probably of greater importance, and personally, I think that if we used funds to get that out more, that's a better return on the use of that money than adding a few more cameras.
Yeah, and then we can even, I spoke with Brandon about this, he said, yeah, a good idea would be, along the same lines as Abby's talking about, that you could even print up some T-shirts, you know, doesn't necessarily have to say Kingsburg on it, he said, and then the ones that you don't, you know, something to do with fentanyl awareness, you know, and education, and he goes, and even the ones you don't give away, just give them to program, of that program, let them use them at their next, you know.
Well, I wouldn't mind if something said Kingsburg personally, because
Yeah,
it's
that's
such a
true, too.
close knit.
That's true too.
People would be, you know, they're proud more that the community is doing something. And while I don't think that we could afford to, provide Narcan, it would be nice if we could find out where residents can acquire it. At that meeting, say, hey, look, if you like it, you can here. I think CVS sells it and whatnot, but there are,
A few out
some clinics that have been providing it.
Yeah, for sure. I know,
And I think that's, you know,
I'm sure that hopefully some of the education and, you know,
yeah, but we should,
where you can get that, yeah.
we should probably just make sure.
Just make sure, yeah.
Again, it makes more value added,
Yeah.
I think, to everybody
Yeah,
who
we can,
attends.
if we find out where in Kingsburg, we can, yeah.
And I don't wanna sound, you know, crying wolf or whatnot, but are all in agreement. If it hasn't happened yet here, it will,
I mean,
unfortunately.
I mean, it's something you don't wanna overlook for sure, you know. I almost like your idea, you know, something, may draw the kids also. If you bring the kids, then the parents are sure to follow, almost type of deal.
Yeah, and we can say it's for parents, but if they bring their kids, I mean, we can ask,
Have some refreshments,
we
maybe a
can,
bounce.
we can ask, I can ask Officer Cardinelli, you know, Tracy, hey, we want to do this for the parents, but if they bring their kids, it's okay if they bring their kids in with them, right? You know, I'm sure it is.
Depending on when we were able to do this, unfortunately, they had a board meeting last night, but I'd be willing to approach the Lions Club and see if they would be willing to make something towards refreshments, food, whatever as well.
it's like a community partnership type
Yeah,
thing.
because the Lions do a lot. You know, because I'm on the board, we did a lot last night, so I hadn't even thought about it, like, you know, geez.
That'd be great.
But we've got another meeting in a month, so
Okay.
we'll just take it away from the wrestling budget.
Well, you know, I think calling me, well, anyway, that's a different subject. Trying to, give some more funds anyway,
You know, I know that a lot of times on programs like this, there are corporate sponsors as well, you know, so, you know, there may be some company here in town, you know, say, just pulling a name out of the air, T-Mobile, you know, maybe, say, you know, this is important for our community, we're part of the community, we'll give you X number of dollars, so, you know. it's
You know, if we had a
just-
mayor that could do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd probably carry a lot of weight, especially to that community involvement, because
And, my daughter happens to work there, so.
there you go.
It's real well with everybody, yeah.
I talked to her about my bill. But, you know, you're right, I think that there are a lot of sources we tend to overlook and not think about, but they're willing to. And T-Mobile has been a great partner with Kingsburg already.
That's the type of things that I think they like to get involved with. Like, you
I would
know,
also suggest reaching out to, United Health or Adventist. You probably go a bit further with United Health, but I'd reach out to those,
Well, yeah. We also talked about having a police officer down there, maybe a paramedic or a fireman, I'm sure they dealt with that,
Responded.
yeah,
They dealt, yeah.
dealt with that firsthand or responded to some.
I know there's been one or two here in Kingsburg, guys.
Yeah.
You know, I know a few, thank goodness nobody passed away, but.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, like, you know, God forbid, but, you know, happening here, you know, it's happening in a lot of communities. That's why we want to do this awareness. Yeah, then we'll do that, any other discussion, what else did we discuss? Something I see here in our last meeting, we mentioned, hardwire for the cameras at Athwal.
Mhm.
wasn't the discussion that they are solar powered right now?
Yeah, they're solar right now, yeah.
And, so there's only two solutions. You either get large enough batteries in often containers to store,
Okay,
keep
yeah.
them going, or you have to bring power
Power,
to
that's
that.
something more hardwire, yeah.
And,
Wired it.
you know, I don't know, that's, $10,000 isn't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
No,
Not
it's,
with that.
yeah.
Maybe for more bigger batteries.
Well, yeah, and batteries are not cheap, but,
No, the way I understand it was, the reason it was done that way was because there wasn't utilities out there at the time, right? I mean, kind of, you know, and I mean,
Yes, and there is gonna be some construction going on out there.
I mean, maybe that's something more to bring up to the city council
They're gonna
instead of
build that
us.
restroom.
Yep,
Because,
absolutely.
you know, I mean, they have a little bit bigger budget than us and some, you know, so, you know, that might be more of a city, but, you know,
Yeah,
bringing that up to them, that that's possible to get power to that part instead of.
I can bring it up to, our council, our city engineer. You know, 'cause like I said, remember, Abby, when they said they might break ground on restrooms, I can't remember when.
Soon.
Yeah, I remember soon.
I can't remember the deadline. I know that it's been ordered and everything else.
But they're gonna they're gonna definitely be putting in underground utilities for sewer and,
Mhm.
They have to have lights in those restrooms.
yeah, unless you're gonna put solar power in there too.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that, I think that would be a better, proposal for the city council.
Okay, yeah, I've got a note of that. Okay, any other ideas or discussion on, use of our funds?
I think we're best being in a holding pattern right now, so we
Yeah,
have to kind of.
I agree, yep.
And I think we have
We
a
have
good,
some good ideas going on, and then,
we have a good foundation right now, you know, and definitely if it comes to the end where we need to, you know, fire department, I'm sure they'll, something, you know.
yeah, like I said, also Chief Davian, and, once they get that grant, hopefully they get that grant, and then, yeah, you know, how much money would help for a couple of, one or two trash cans, we can help them with that, you know.
Or we buy an awful lot of lotto tickets and double our money.
There you go. Then all I would think,
That's right, you know.
we might hit it, we
What
might hit
could
it
go
big,
wrong?
Right.
And then if the city can find, you know, signs, that'd be great, if not, then maybe, you know, have a couple more made or something, you know.
Yeah, can you get back to me on that, Abby, if you remember?
And
I
it
know you're
probably
busy, but-
include,
Oh, no, I have them in
some
it.
labor
Oh,
also.
sure,
Yeah, that's.
Okay, sounds good. All right, then, any other business?
No, I just wanted to mention that, you know, a few years ago, we talked about beacons, flashing beacons at the crosswalks,
Mhm.
and we got a couple over there by Roosevelt.
Are they up and going?
Well, they were, and then I think they took them down, just, I guess the wrong post was up there or something, so, that's a nice safety addition for that corner.
That corner, yeah.
Yeah, that's, the ones in, or underground, it's on the post, so.
So,
You press it when you're gonna cross,
Right.
and it'll
Oh.
flash.
So like over by Nelson's Hardware, yeah, as you cross
Well, the
there,
one at Nelson's is actually,
that's in the ground.
it's on, yeah, it's all the way, because that's a pretty big street
Yeah,
there.
that's,
It
that's
has wide.
nice, that's a nice one.
Yeah, that is,
So these are just on a post and they flash.
yeah,
LED bar, you know.
okay, that's good then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I saw a couple guys there on a Saturday or Sunday working there, it seemed like last week or the week before.
Yeah, so they put them up and then this morning they're gone, I'm like, oh. It was, I went out and looked, it was too clean, it wasn't vandalism, nobody stole it, like, so I emailed Alex, and he just said that put it on a different post or something.
So is
Now
this
it's on
on,
some kid's truck now.
So I'm sure they'll be back.
so is this on
Yeah.
Kern and Tent, or is this on, in front by the store, the Kingsburg Market?
Right
Yeah,
before,
Oh,
with a
okay.
little, yeah, it's, so when it's Draper
Right, you make that
turns,
turn.
Oh, okay.
Draper turns into,
Okay, gotcha.
right in front of the school.
Nice.
There have been any more problems at the high school? You know, a couple kids, a couple months ago, coming out, got hit, potential cause problems. Has that pretty much settled down? Do we know?
I don't remember hearing about that
Yeah.
myself.
I know they're working on, there's gonna be lighted crosswalks at 20th, 19th, and then, by the park, like First Baptist to Memorial Park, that one crosswalk, but it's taking longer because it's Caltrans.
Mhm.
Because they, instead of waiting with the Roosevelt one, they just said, let's do that one, and then, so those will be lighted.
Is Caltrans paying for that, or is the city paying?
I don't know how, Caltrans owns it, but I'm pretty sure,
They have, to-
don't, yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah.
I don't think they're paying for all of it.
no, they're not,
I don't know,
I'm not sure.
yeah. Because it's, we want it,
Oh,
the city wants it,
I'm sure they might give a little bit.
yeah. Let me know.
I like,
Who's getting it though?
I like that they did that, because I do walk, I live on 11th and Kern, and so I walk my kids to the bus stop there at Roosevelt, and there's been a few mornings where there's been some cars that haven't paid attention. I definitely won't let my kids walk to school by themselves. I mean, I'm a taller guy, and I wear
Yeah.
bright colors, so.
It's kind of that, I don't know, that angle or something, it's, you know, it's a little tricky. You know, somebody takes off on that crosswalk, it's, you really gotta pay attention.
Your eyes kind of just follow where you expect to be turning, not what's right there.
You're not really looking on the side.
Yeah, your peripheral.
It's good to hear that they did that.
Yeah. I didn't hear about kids getting,
Yeah, this goes back a couple, coming out of the driveways, when school was letting out, and
oh,
there was a bicycle that was hit at one point, nothing major, but it's like, let's face it, it's wild when the kids get out of the high school anyway.
not be in that area at all.
The
I
best
go to the neighborhoods to go around it.
I'm glad they eliminated that, crosswalk on 18th.
Yeah, I noticed that they did that, and I think that was good.
That was a couple of years ago, I had
Yeah.
a high school approach us on that one.
Yeah, they moved it down to the.
We got a little pushback, but only from people, it wasn't, people realize that that's a bad crosswalk because of so much traffic there, you know?
Well, and plus the kids would not stay within the crosswalk, and it's 20 yards down, and they're still just
They
crossing.
figure that, hey,
Yeah.
that crosswalk right there, I'll just go 10, 15 yards and it's still okay,
Yep,
yeah.
and at that time of day, there was a bit of traffic.
Okay, well, thank you for the update on the,
Yeah, thank you.
flashing, crosswalk. You can, any other business? Okay, then I guess we're good to adjourn the meeting and do some follow-up on the, today.